Chris Cook and Graham Wagg both maintained their recent good batting form as Glamorgan and Derbyshire played out an even opening day of their LV County Championship match at the SWALEC Stadium in Cardiff. Mark Wallace chose to send his batsmen in after winning the toss on a glorious late summer's morning in South Wales. The pitch also appeared from a distance to be a lovely one to bat on. So Jacques Rudolph would have been disappointed when he was trapped in front by Tony Palladino for 9, the bowler finding just enough swing with the new ball. On a dry pitch, Wes Durston was into the attack after an hour, only to watch his second ball travel down the ground for a 6 off the bat of Gareth Rees. Durston had bowled his side to victory over Worcestershire last time out, as Derbyshire maintained their excellent late season form. They were held up here for a while by both Will Bragg and Rees, who took the total to 68 with a stand of 43 for the second wicket. Both men were back in the shed with their pads off before lunch. On 22, Bragg was LBW to Wayne White, enjoying his return to Derbyshire, before Rees was bowled by Durston for 28, a wicket that showed that there may be plenty for the slow bowlers as this game develops. Shortly after the interval, and Glamorgan were 4 down, Jim Allenby giving Mark Footit, closing in on being the leading wicket taker in this competition this year, a success with an edge to Wayne Madsen. 3 wickets had fallen for 14 runs in a 7-over spell each side of lunch, and it was left to David Lloyd and Cook to try to arrest the slide. They batted patiently, seeing out 18 overs in adding 46 runs to try to balance this game up again. The spinners, Durston and David Wainwright, were bowling in tandem midway through the day, and the latter had Lloyd well held by his bowling partner after making 23. Cook, who made a career best 171 in last week's draw with Kent in Canterbury, had to work really hard for his runs. He'd made only 23 from his first 80 deliveries, but then began to open up a bit while his captain bedded in at the other end. But it was still Derbyshire on top when Wallace left alone and was bowled by Footit, who now took his tally of wickets in the Championship this year to 62. Glamorgan were left on 158 for 6, but Wagg then picked up where he left off from his last innings by pulling Wainwright for an early 6. Wagg had made a career best 116 not out in his last knock, and Cook was also excelling again as he reached his 50 off 112 balls, an all-run 4 adding to his 7 boundaries to take him to his half-century. By the time the tea break was reached, the 28-year-old South African had got to 62 with Wagg on 16, and a much-needed partnership was underway. Footit was left waiting for the wicket which would have seen him match the now banned Syed Ajmal at the top of the charts. Cook was by now looking very good and set for another big score, his confidence lifted by his maiden first-class ton last week, while Wagg's own confidence was sky high, as shown by some of these shots as he started to dominate the scoring after the break. He enjoyed taking on the spin twins especially, as he and Cook began to put on a very handy partnership for the 6th wicket. They went on to add 91 runs together in the space of 18 overs, this being the best part of the day for the home team. 3 successive 4s off Durston took the former Derbyshire player to a 50 off 54 balls, and he was catching Cook up, such was the freedom of his stroke play. The 31-year-old is certainly enjoying his batting at the moment, proving that he is a genuine all-rounder. In the same Durston over, the partnership was ended when Cook on 74 edged to Madsen at slip with a total on 249 for 7. The second new ball then brought about the end of Wagg's innings as he was bowled by Palladino on the drive for 62. Kieran Bull went in the same way 6 overs later after making 4 on his home debut, and the innings was finished off as Footit bagged wicket number 63 this year, Michael Hogan nicking off on 10. Glamorgan were all out for 282 before Ben Slater and Billy Godleman survived the final 3 overs in reducing the deficit by 8 runs. Day 2 will give those at the ground a chance to see Indian star Cheteshwar Pujara in action. He's due in at number 4 for his Derbyshire debut.